This is Generation Stadia, giving you that daily dose of everything and anything cloud gaming related, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming Stadia Good Stuff event. As we all know, starting tomorrow, October 20th at 9 AM Pacific time through Thursday, they'll be announcing new games coming to Stadia, as well as sharing 3 exclusive demos on the platform. Now, we don't know much else other than that, but what we can say is that these demos will be completely free to try out. You won't be needing a Stadia Pro membership to do so, and then there's the fact that the 3 demos will be for unreleased titles. Now, obviously, there's a ton of speculation out there, and I kinda want to throw in my predictions before the event begins in this video. That said, I'm seeing some pretty wild stuff out there. There's even a rumor going around that they may be buying Ubisoft, and I highly doubt that. So to get it out of the way, don't expect any of what I'm predicting here to actually be there, and don't set your expectations too high. Take it from me directly, it's much better to go into these events with lower expectations so you can be surprised and satisfied with what they show. But now let's get on to the topic at hand. In today's video, I'll be breaking down what I expect to see there, what I hope is there, and what I dream is there. Be sure to let me know your predictions in the comment section below. So, what am I expecting to be at this Good Stuff event? First up is a game that I think a lot of people will be happy to see get formally announced for Stadia, and that's Rainbow Six Siege. If you're wondering why I'm expecting this, well, it's already been rated by the ESRB and tagged under Stadia. It's one of the biggest Ubisoft games by far, and I'm very surprised that they decided not to talk about it in last week's Ubisoft game announcements, and it has me thinking that they may be saving it for this Good Stuff event, because I know it will get a ton of people excited. Let's face it, one thing that Google Stadia lacks right now is a competitive multiplayer shooter. Now, I know some of you may argue that PUBG is already on Stadia. There's a really big difference between a shooter like Rainbow Six Siege and a battle royale like PUBG. It also happens to be the one genre I play the most outside of Stadia, so I would love to get something like this on the platform. Another thing I'm expecting to see is the Pac-Man title that was teased in the advertisement they just released. It seems pretty clear now that it was an intentional tease, and I have little to no doubt that we're gonna see it at some point during the next 3 days. I do also think this may be one of those exclusive demos that we're gonna get to try out for ourselves, and it's simply because based on the image we saw, it kind of looked like it may be a battle royale Pac-Man game. It'd be neat to have some sort of time-limited demo where you could just click a link and then be taken straight into a lobby to play a match. I think it would do a fantastic job at highlighting what click-to-play really is all about. Now, my third expectation before moving on to what I hope for, I think is a shoo-in, and that's that one of these demos is gonna be for Immortals Fenyx Rising. We already know this demo was coming, and we know it's gonna be at some point before launch, which is set for December 3rd. Honestly, I would be shocked and surprised if that demo wasn't included in this lineup. Anyways, those are my expectations, and I know that they're not too exciting. Outside of Rainbow Six Siege, it seems like pretty safe bets. But next up, we'll be discussing 3 things I hope to see, and trust me, these are a bit more out there. Let's begin with the demos. I still think one of them is going to be Immortals Fenyx Rising, but I hope the other 2 would be Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion. I do think there is some possibility for this being the case. After all, Ubisoft is launching 3 big games this holiday season, and it just happens to be 3 demos we're gonna get. There's also the fact that both Google and Ubisoft work together quite a bit. And let's not forget the fact that Ubisoft has already been streaming demos of their games to influencers and other media outlets. To be clear, they were using Parsec to do this, but it does mean that they may have something to show for the general public as well. Now, the biggest thing going against this theory is the fact that Xbox has marketing rights with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The next thing I hope to see at this Good Stuff event is support from publishers that we have yet to see arrive on Stadia. Earlier this week, we saw that Sega was celebrating their 60th anniversary, and one of the preferred platforms you could choose when signing up for a free gift was Stadia, and that led to a lot of people thinking that we may see some sort of Sega titles on the platform. I have to admit, it's pretty curious to see that the Stadia logo was there, considering Sega hasn't put out anything on the platform, and I do know that they're listed under the supported publishers, so maybe we might actually see something from them. As for what games, honestly, I would hope it's the Yakuza series. Even if it's only their latest entry, it would be awesome to see Yakuza Like a Dragon on Stadia. Oh, and before we move on, still totally rooting for Monster Hunter on Stadia, please make it happen, Capcom. Now for the third thing I hope to see at this event, well, it's gonna be a first-party exclusive tease. I honestly don't think any of the studios are ready to showcase a long-form gameplay demo, but possibly a hint to what we can expect would be pretty nice to see. Google still needs to deliver a really big first-party exclusive title that really showcases what a game built from the ground up for the cloud can be. We've already seen and discussed a bit of what this technology can do, but it would be great to see it in a consumer end product. Like I said, I doubt it would be anything more than a tease, but even that would go a long way for building up hype within the Stadia community. But now it's time to discuss the fun stuff, the things that I dream of seeing, and yes, all these things are way out there and totally don't go in expecting any of this to happen, but it would be amazing if they did. First, let's start big. Google acquires a publisher or developer. Now, I know the gaming community at large would be very unhappy with this, but it would do wonders for showcasing Google's investment into the platform. I totally don't expect this, and I don't believe the rumor of them buying Ubisoft is even possible, but if it were to happen in some sort of weird scenario, it would really bolster Stadia's reputation one way or another. The second thing I dream of? Well, that's an official announcement and confirmation of Stadia Gen 2 hardware. With next-gen consoles right around the corner, it would be pretty fascinating to see Google step up and showcase that they can upgrade their server blades way past it to actually support something like 4K 60 FPS with ray tracing. We've heard rumor after rumor about Stadia Gen 2 hardware coming, and while it hasn't happened as of yet, it would be a good time as any to announce it here. The last thing I dream of? Well, it would be a demo for Cyberpunk 2077. This has a ton of things going against it already. Xbox has the marketing, and demos take time to develop. And as we've all seen, this game's gotten delay after delay, which goes to suggest that they're actually working on a pretty strict time schedule. But if this were to happen, this would get so many eyes on Google Stadia, and you bet so many people would be trying this out. Many people who swore off Stadia or cloud gaming as a whole would be willing to try this out without a shadow of a doubt. It's easily the most anticipated title of the year, and I have little to no doubt it would be a huge marketing boom for Stadia to nail something like this. Like I said, these are just dream scenarios. I'm not expecting any of these three to happen, and I'm definitely not going to waste my time hoping that they happen. At the end of the day, I do think we're just going to get some pretty cool demos and some new game announcements, and that'll be awesome all on its own. So now that I discussed what I expect, hope, and dream of seeing at this event, you tell me what you think. What are your hopes, dreams, and expectations over the next 3 days? Be sure to let me know in the comment section below. Now, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful at all, consider hitting that like button as it really does help the channel out. And if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. Today's end of video question is gonna be simple. What have you been playing lately? Be it Stadia or any other platform, what have you been gaming? Myself, I spent a pretty good amount of time playing the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War beta on PC, and I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I look forward to seeing what you're playing and whether or not you recommend I check it out. As always, thank you for watching the video. This has been Generation Stadia, giving you that daily dose of everything and anything cloud gaming related. The Gen S community is over 5,100 strong and growing by the day, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.